Polynomial Remainder Theorem Standard 9 Exercise 2.3. First we will understand what is remainder theorem. Okay, before that, first all of you know what is remainder. Okay, in lower classes that were from first to fifth, what we used to do when we used to divide any number, say 25 divided by 4, how we divide it? Okay, we divide like this: 25 divided by 4, 6 are 24 and 1. So this remaining we call it as remainder. Okay, then what is this? This is called as quotient. Okay, then this 25, this is called as dividend, and the number which we divide is called as divisor, right? So this remaining one we call it as remainder, and whenever there is a remainder we say that this number is not the factor, that means it is not divisible by 4. The remainder should not be any number. If it would be 0, then we would have said that yes, 20, for example, if instead of 25 I would have taken 24. 24 divided minus 24, the remainder would be 0. So I would have said that yes, 24 is the factor of 4. But here it is not divisible. 1 is remaining. So this remaining is called as remainder. And in how we used to write that 25? How we used to write in form that is 6. Mixed form 6, 4 by 1 by 4. Yes, 24 plus 1, 25. 25 divided by 4. Like this we used to write. So how we write this? 6 into 4 plus 1. Right. What is 6? 6 is quotient. Okay. What is 4? 4 is a divisor. If we multiply it and add the remainder in it, okay, so we get dividend, right? So this formula we were using, or we from standard 3rd to till now onwards. Okay, all of you know the simple number division, constant division. Now we are talking about the polynomials. Yes, now we are talking about the polynomials, and what is the remainder theorem in the polynomial. In the polynomial we will divide the two expressions, say p of x. Okay, what do you mean by p? P means polynomial, and in this expression x is a variable. That means it is made up of x variable. It is divisible by, so for example, say g of x. G is the another variable by which it is divided. Okay, so this is my dividend and this is my divisor. Okay, so what will happen if I divide this? If I divide p of x by g of x, just like this, okay, just like this. So I will get some quotient q of x, okay, and I will have one remainder also, r of x. So this form, how will I write? I will write it in the p of x is equals to q of x into g of x plus r of x, right? This is quotient multiply by divisor plus remainder, same like this, 6 into 4 plus 1. So what is this? This is nothing but the remainder theorem. We call this as a remainder theorem. Okay, this is a remainder theorem. Now student, all of you know, when we say that it is a remainder, always remainder is less than divisor. That is 1 is less than 4. Okay, we know that divisor is always less than remainder. It should be always less than remainder. Then only we say it is a remainder. If it would be 5, what we would have done, we would have continued the division, and 1s are 4s are, and then we get again a remainder. So till when we do complete the division, till we get the remainder is less than this. So same here, same also here. Same also here, it should be that g of x should be greater than r of x. That means remainder should be smaller than the divisor. Yes, but how we will calculate or how we will understand this? Is it a small or a greater? Because it is a polynomial, it is having an expression. Here it is a number, so we can easily say that 4 is smaller than 1. But how we will get it? We will get it by the degree. Okay, so degree of g of x should be less than degree of r of x. Okay, so this degree should be always less. All of you know the degree. If you don't know the degree, you go and see my video 2.1 exercise. There we have discussed what do you mean by degree. Still I will explain you. If the question is x to the power 3 plus x to the power 2 plus 1. Okay, so here what is the highest? That is 3. So we call 3 as a degree. Okay, 3 is the degree for this number. Okay, and when the remainder, if the remainder is there, for example, remainder is say x minus 1. When we solve this equation and the remainder remains are x minus 1. So your degree is 1. So it is all 3 is greater than 1. That means g of x is greater than r of x. So same way as we use the number, we use the same thing in a polynomial. So g of x is the divisor and it should be always, its degree should be always smaller than the remainder. Okay, now let's take one example. How we will guess it, how to solve the sum. Okay, now first we will understand that remainder theorem. What are the conditions or what is the necessary condition when it is applicable? Okay, when it is applicable. So first important thing is that it is only applicable. Very important, please all of you listen. It is only applicable if divisor is linear polynomial. This is very important condition. When is remainder theorem applicable? When the divisor, all of you know g of x, it should be in the linear polynomial. What do you mean by linear polynomial? Means degree should be 1. Degree should be 1. Example like this: x minus a, or x minus 3, or y minus 2, m plus say 7, like this. So every time, can you see that the variable degree is 1? So it should, the divisor should be always in the linear polynomial. This is the first condition. Now if this g of x degree is 1, right? So we know that Rx is always less than this. Rx should be less than this. If its degree is 1, what will be less? What is less than 1 is 0. So remainder becomes 0. When the divisor is a linear polynomial, remainder becomes 0. And this is the only important thing which we are going to use in this sum. Okay, so let's check it. For example, if I say that example, we will take the sum. If x square plus 3x plus 4 is dividend and x minus 1 is divisor. X minus 1 is divisor. Okay, what is remainder? Okay, so first of all, whenever you see that it is 1 degree, that is x is equals to 1, that means it is a linear polynomial, right? It is a linear polynomial. So what is my step 1? Keep it in mind. Whatever step I am repeating, that are very, very important. Step 1. What is step 1? The p of x, that is our first polynomial, p of x is equals to x square plus 3x plus 4. And what is our second polynomial? G of x is x minus 1. That means x square plus 3x plus 4 is divisible by, we have to divide it by x minus 1, and it is a linear polynomial. So x square plus 3x plus 4 is one polynomial and it is divided by x minus 1. So can you see, it is a linear polynomial, and whenever it is a linear polynomial, we know that remainder is 0. So what is my first step? Keep it in mind. First take p of x, g of x, and g of x should be equal to 0 because it should be, remainder should be always less. So x minus 1 is equals to 0. If I transpose it, x is equals to 1, and this is my value of x. Okay, this is the value of x. Now what will I do? I will transfer this 1. I will transfer this 1 into this p of x. Okay, so p of 1. What is my x? What instead of x, what I have to put? 1. So my polynomial will become p of 1. X square means 1 square plus 3 into 1. Okay, plus 4. So that is 1 square is 1. 3 ones are 3 plus 4. That is 3 plus 1 plus 4 is 8. Okay, this is step 2. There are only 2 steps, and this is nothing but my remainder. So 8 is remainder. Understood? What is the first step? First we have to take p of x, g of x. What will be g of x? It should be always a linear equation. That means degree should be 1. First step is gx of x should be equal to 0. That means I will find the value of x. Now this x value I will put in the equation. So when I put it in the equation, I get some number, and its degree, see, there is no variable. That means its degree is 0 and it is less than this. Therefore 8 is a remainder.